The following content does not constitute endorsement by the Department of the U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force, Vermont National Guard, or Vermont military family programs of the organization's products and services contained therein. Further, Vermont Military Family Programs assumes no responsibility for the consequences of using the products/services provided by the organization/resources listed. Vermont Military Family Programs makes every effort to present our clients with reputable resources. We cannot guarantee the validity of said resources, and use of such resources is voluntary.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first episode, hopefully of many, of Kitchen Spoons and Combat Boots, our new podcast that we're starting here at Vermont Family Programs. We are a subsidiary of the Vermont Army National Guard. We've been around for a long time, and we're here helping veterans and helping families and everybody who's in our military community. So hopefully these take off and these help us spread a lot of the benefits and information that we have. So welcome to our first one. This is our first one. Really exciting. With me, I have Megan Sather. Megan is our personal financial counselor for the Vermont Army National Guard. Megan, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. So the point of this is just to be really informal, have, good conversation, just talk about some of the things going on in the Vermont Army National Guard, and things that are going on in the finance world that you see. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you work out of, what your background is, how you've tied into the military community.
Will do. So I've been working with the military for the past 22 years. I originally started working for the Navy in Virginia Beach. I started with them as a relocation counselor and then transitioned over to financial education. And I did that for 13 years. And then I moved back home here to Vermont and worked for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau for 4 years on a pilot program that they had for financial coaching. And then when that program ended, I moved up to Burlington and now working for the National Guard. I am the only personal financial counselor in the state of Vermont. I work with all branches of the military. It's not just the Army.
Wow.
So I work with any branch, whether you're active, retired, separated, doesn't matter. I will talk to anybody about money. It's my favorite topic. Other people's money, I will talk about it all day.
And you're probably pretty busy too.
I try to be pretty busy. I try to be.
You have a pretty long list of clients.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Well, we're going into the holiday season, and I know for veterans and their families, it's usually a tough one. Mm-hmm. I can look at myself, things that have happened to me. I was in the Army. I just retired 20 years, and you see everything from yourself, from other people. What are some of the big things that soldiers need right now or are asking you about financially?
Well, in this economy that we're dealing with, it's not just the holidays, but everything is getting so much more expensive. I just saw a picture and it made me laugh because it's got a picture of a shopping cart and it said the most expensive vehicle to operate in 2023. And I was like, that's true. Groceries are astronomically expensive. And so just trying to get the basics for your holidays are very expensive. So I think a lot of it is, how can we do this? Because we didn't get a 20% pay raise,
right?
But everything went up 20%. And so How do we make this work? And really, it's all about, just reaching out, finding what the resources that are available to you, and utilizing them.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you, before we started this recording, you obviously recorded your own financial brief, mm-hmm. and that was full of tons of great information. I think Scott, who was watching, said that he was going to fix his bank accounts mm-hmm. a little bit to just based on what you said. So after we post this on the first Wednesday, we'll make sure that we put Megan's full brief in the comments section. So click on that brief and listen to everything Megan has to say there, because you're going to find yourself with a bunch of different ways to save money and things that you can do. But so how are soldiers doing in debt right now? Is debt big? Is credit big?
Yeah, everything is. So the program is holiday bills. Now what? Because a lot of people, that's how they pay for their holidays, with credit cards. If you open a brand new credit card, you get 20% off your shopping trip. I mean, that sounds like a great idea, but credit is there and it's very expensive nowadays. You used to be able to get 12% interest on a credit card. You can't get that anymore. On top of the fact that interest rates got higher on buying a house, and so everything gets more expensive. And because the income didn't rise up to meet it, people are charging more on their credit cards, and they're charging the consumables. So they're buying groceries and they're making the minimum payments, or they're charging their car insurance on there and making the minimum payments. And you can't ever get out of debt making the minimum payment.
Right.
If you keep charging on your credit cards and only making the minimum payment, it will follow you forever.
That's the revolving door, right?
It is. Yes. It's terrible. And so really, come the new year, trying to pay down some of this debt, if you can find just the smallest amount, $10, to pay in addition to the minimum payments, you'll pay off your bills so much faster.
Yeah.
And that's it, because it's easy to use credit, because, you don't have to feel the pinch right now, but you will eventually have to. And do you really want to pay these companies 23% interest to borrow their money? So it's definitely worth, we just went through Black Friday. So shopping the sales is obviously the way to go to try and get the best deals.
Right.
Yeah.
So try to use cash if you can.
Yes.
Don't use that card unless you have to, right?
Cash is king.
And then if you are using your card, make sure you're making more, you're trying to make more than your minimum payments.
Right. Yes.
I also meant in your brief, you said something about percentages, like 70% of your income, and then 10% goes to savings. Can you tell me a little bit, because that really interested me, and it really made me take a step back and think, well, what is my collective income? Is like my mortgage, my bills, my groceries. So tell me a little bit about that.
So we talked a little bit about budgeting. And so once you figure out a budget, really what experts say, you should try and keep your living expenses at no more than 70% of your income. And then 20% of your income, no more than that, spent on debt. And you should be actively saving and or investing at least 10% of your income. And then in that 70%, so we've got your mortgage payment or your rent, groceries, your car insurance, cable, daycare, all of those fall under living expenses, and they shouldn't be more than 70% of your income, which can be hard. Because a lot of people now renting or buying, experts say you should try to keep that number close to like 30 or 40%. No more than that should be spent on your house, whether you rent or own. But it's hard in this economy. It's hard to find a house that's affordable. It's hard to find a rental that's affordable. And so people are spending a lot more than that 30 or 40% just on housing. So then that leaves a lot less to spend on the rest of your living expenses. And for a lot of people, that number comes out of the 10% savings and investing. So, a lot of people just are not saving or investing any money.
And I think a big thing that soldiers have is fun money. So like what percentage is fun money?
So really it's what you can afford. Some people, can have $100 a paycheck for fun money, and some people can only have 20.
Yeah.
So it requires, if there's more than one person in this relationship, everybody has to be on the same page when it comes to budgeting.
Right.
And the same page when it comes to money and how much is fun money. A lot of couples have a number where they say, okay, anything above $150 purchase, we have to talk about it together. So really think about, maybe there's a limit before you need to talk as a couple about where you're spending your money. And maybe that's $50 or $100 a month, whatever. But you should always give yourself fun money. I'm not the type of person that's going to tell you, you need to sit at home, cancel the cable, you're reading by candlelight.
Right. You got to take care of yourself.
You do, because that'll last for what, like a week?
Right.
So you have to have money to have fun, but it doesn't mean that it needs to be a $200 dinner with, 2 bottles of wine.
Right.
But, and there's a lot of free things to do too. There's a lot of things that are available out there to do.
You just got to look around, Facebook, events, all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Yep. Listen to the news. Yeah. We found ourselves after Thanksgiving, we said, we want to get out. So we took a trip to Boston.
Oh yeah.
And keeping, budgeting in mind, and holiday spending and stuff like that. Just going out to Boston on a whim is not cheap.
No. Well, luckily, first of all, gas prices are finally coming down. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But
that's a good thing you mentioned that. That's funny. That was like one of the few like pinch points that usually hurts. We only had to fill up once and it wasn't that bad. I was like, all right, maybe we can go to Boston more often.
Right. It's the hotel. It's the place to stay is probably your most expensive thing.
Yeah. I think we did good. I think we did good.
But you searched, right? You didn't like drive up to the first hotel. You did some background and searching and, hey, can I get a military discount? You know, do I have AAA? Are any of the travel sites great places? Another things for shopping, a lot of people don't think about, but once we get through the holidays, is trading gift cards. So there are a lot of websites out there. So people who get gift cards as gifts but aren't going to use them can sell them to these companies that will resell them. They obviously get a percentage, but you can buy like $100 Target gift card for like $85.
Oh, wow.
And so you get a discount on the card. It's the full $100. But because this other person, you know, somebody gave them a Target gift card and they don't want it, you can go onto these websites and buy these discounted gift cards. And they guarantee them because they've checked to make sure that the money's on there. So they already guarantee that it's there. And it's a great way to do your shopping. I mean, you can do grocery stores. They do everything.
And shoot, the store says, well, we'll pay $15 to get a guaranteed shopper to come in. Right. And you know they're going to spend more than the gift card.
Oh, of course.
So they can make that deal all day. Well, that's good. That actually never...
Definitely, yeah. So discount gift cards, because that's what everybody does. Come, you know, Christmas, they get all these gift cards. And so they want to get rid of them and they don't want to shop at the store.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good tip. Definitely. I'll have to keep that one in the books.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just learning these little things about ways to save money.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more than just coupons, you know, clipping them out of the Sunday paper now. It's all electronic and digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. It's crazy. So talking about holiday spending for veterans, you see a lot of veterans who have a hard time with their money. What are some of the things that they should prioritize? I know, like, you want to go Christmas shopping for your kids and you want to give them everything, but you have to be realistic. You do.
You have to create a budget for shopping for Christmas. I mean, that's any holiday shopping like that. And it's addition to your regular budget. You have to find the money because most of us don't just have hundreds left over every month.
Right.
It goes somewhere.
Right.
So if you're going to spend that money and you're going to be a really good steward and not charge it on a credit card, then what that means is the money has to come from somewhere. And so maybe it's, you know, not eating out dinner twice a month, twice a week and do it once a week. And you've saved money that way. Or maybe you stop getting coffee every morning on the way to work. Just little things like that you can start saving. And definitely at the beginning of the year, set up a holiday savings account. It's great. I mean, even if you're putting $20 in a paycheck, you know, it will add up. And so you've got the cash at the end of the year already saved and it didn't hurt a lot. Yeah. Because the military and Social Security gets a raise every year. It's not huge, but it's money that you haven't spent anyways. So why not put that into a savings account for the holidays?
Right. And it's funny, actually, you say that because obviously being the financial counselor, everybody's like, Megan's the money god, you know it all. Everybody always talks about your tip of, if you want something on Amazon, put it in your cart and leave it there and then just revisit your cart during Amazon sales or Prime Days.
Yeah. That's what I do before any Amazon Prime Day or any Black Friday is I go in and load everything I want in my cart. And then when it comes the day, I can just look at it and see what's on sale and delete anything that's not.
That's the coolest
It's
thing.
also a great way for shopping. A lot of people do impulse buys and it's easy to do. Great sale. Hey, oh my God, it's 50% off. I need one of those. What you should do is put it into your cart and step away. Give it a little time, even if it's a day. And I find for a lot of my stuff, I don't need it. I put it in my cart. I walked away and I went back and I went, no, don't need it.
Just wait.
So yeah, it's just, you know, pause when you're trying to do the spending and just, you know, think about it.
And yesterday was Cyber Monday. And actually I had heard this, somebody had told me that you do that on your Amazon cart. So I started doing it a couple months ago to see how it would work out. And then like Black Friday was obviously it's last Friday and Cyber Monday was yesterday. But I went through and nothing that had been discounted, I just ended up throwing away. I guess I didn't really need that. But if something was like 50, 60% off.
Right.
So it was really neat to see that go into play. So thank you. Thank you.
So when it comes to holidays, one of the things that I was thinking about was not just gifts, but making things. I mean, a lot of people, you don't have to buy things. You can make things, or donate as a family, that too. So there's a lot of things that you can do for the holidays, and definitely planning ahead, and finding things that you don't have to spend money on.
Yeah. So we'll have to
Definitely.
keep that in mind for next Christmas, as
Mhm.
technically this will have aired when Christmas is already over.
But planning ahead and
Yeah.
just go, okay, we want to, donate as a family. And so you can start doing research on where can we donate. Maybe you want to go and, cook a meal for COTS in Burlington, or, something like that. So planning ahead is definitely the way to go.
And start taking that $20 out of every paycheck.
$20 a paycheck, and put it into your holiday savings account. And the easiest way, people are like, well, how much should I save? Well, look at what you spent this year, total it up. That's how much money you have to save in the year. So divide it by 12, and that's what you should be saving. And then you will be set for next Christmas and the holiday season.
Great. Well, thank you for all that information. That was really, it's always so much. Every time I watch your financial brief, you can always take something new out of it. You heard it the first time, but you used something else.
Right.
So every time you listen to it, you just start getting all of these ideas together. And then, I feel like my budget's pretty airtight. And I think you have a lot to do with that. So thank you.
But budgets, it's always good to revisit them anytime something changes. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, this has been our first Kitchen Spoons and Combat Boots podcast. Hopefully everybody enjoyed what we were talking about. We will be airing these the first Wednesday monthly. So stay tuned. This will be our January. We'll be having our February coming up shortly. It's almost actually time to probably get recording for that. But other than that, we will be posting this on the first Wednesday in January, and we'll be making sure to put a full link to your presentation, which sounded great, into our right underneath the video. So
Awesome.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for
Everybody
having
listening,
me.
thank you for tuning in to the Kitchen Spoons and Combat Boots, and enjoy the rest of your day.
For more information or support, please reach out to the Vermont Military and Family Support Center's toll-free number 888-607-8773.